is conducting a sting looking for girls who may be the victims of trafficking. How do you know when there's a pimp involved?
If we notice that when a female gets dropped off at the hotel, a male might be driving.
She's coming around the corner right now.
Got it.
Also, if they come in the room and we do the money exchange for the sexual acts, sometimes they'll text right after they receive the money.
Almost immediately, detectives have a case that fits the profile. The woman claims she's just there visiting her boyfriend.
Maybe what's going on, so you talking to me.
But considering her boyfriend is an undercover detective, police aren't buying it.
Greetings, everybody, and welcome to Whisper2Scream, March 2020, first edition. My name is Bernard, and I am your host. Please tell a friend, or tell that couple on YouTube walking around the Walmart shopping with clear plastic bags on their heads to check us out here on YouTube and on Facebook at Coon Tunes Productions. And we have a lot to talk about, so let's get started. First, everybody is being drawn to the coronavirus pandemic, and rightfully so. But there's another pandemic that's being ignored, that young girls and young boys are being sold and passed around for purposes of sex.
We've spoken to the buyers, the victims, and even the pimps. But no matter where we went, there seemed to be one name that kept coming up.
They were like, Backpage.
Backpage.com.
Operating in over 900 cities worldwide, the online classifieds website commands, by some estimates, over 80% of all online sex ad revenues. And it's through those ads that many allege the company has knowingly permitted the sale of underage children.
Now, where are they plucked from? They're plucked from playgrounds, churches, even from parents and relatives who are looking for material gain. Now, just because the coronavirus is devastating our country and the world does not mean that child trafficking is on hold. It is still happening. Even as we speak, children are being subjected to depraved and dangerous activity and now have the added threat of being unnecessarily exposed to a deadly virus. Now, sadly, in the trafficking game, these deaths are considered part of the price of doing business. So how can we help? There are a few scenarios and clues to help recognize potential traffickers and their victims. Tips come from a conference on child trafficking that I attended a few months ago. Now, we realize we are not going to solve this problem during our broadcast. However, here are some simple observances we can keep in mind as we navigate these most unusual times. In the medical field, when children come to your facilities, check for bruises on their bodies. Also, check for venereal diseases, especially if it's a repeated visit. Also, observe if the adult seeks to answer your questions and are not allowing the victim to answer. Educators, check for repeated absences. Also, check for behavioral problems and regard them as a cry for help. Let counselors know, or even the gym teacher know, but of course use discretion because many times students feel comfortable confiding in these people. Also, check for students who dress inappropriately when their clothes or their hair is in extreme styles. Another is observing a kid who seems to have an unusual amount of control over other students. Now, unfortunately, some of these students are recruiters for their controllers. Now, who is thought to be most susceptible? These are kids who are having problems in the home, or kids who feel ostracized by their peers, or kids who feel socially inept because of their clothing or because of where they live. Now, these are just a few red flags. People like to tag a certain economic group, but now no economic group is immune to this pandemic. Even though educators and medical personnel, the police, and community organizers work hard to protect our youth, there are unscrupulous people working to line their own pockets. For example, Some motels and hotels see these kids entering these hotels with questionable adults, but they turn a blind eye. Some rent their rooms out by the minute, and some rent their rooms out by the hour. It is a vicious network. One sign of a trafficker could be if you observe a grown-up who's directing a child's every move, like he or she is leading a blind person, especially if the child is not smiling at all. Now remember, there are children who are being rented out. Yes, I said children who are being rented out for sex and other fetishes, for money or some other material gain.
Can this ever be eradicated?
I'm an optimist, so I don't believe in saying never. We're gonna do all that we can, all that's in our power as a police department to do our part to eradicate it.
As always, be blessed and stay woke.